You don't need better advice. You don't need more advice. You don't need to Google the next best magic trick, this, that, whatever, to achieve your goal. What you need is to start practicing action, staying true to your word, following along what you say you're going to do and not breaking promises to yourself. Today, we're going to dive deep into how you can start implementing and taking action.
Because at the end of the day, if you are stuck, it's because you are not actually moving forward. You're looking for either a way to procrastinate, and maybe we're doing this subconsciously because we don't trust what we already know, but what we're here to tell you is you already know everything that you need to know to have the body of your dreams, to build your business, because the bread and butter things that we always talk about, those things are not changing. It comes down to knowing, trusting, and applying, and that's what's going to yield the results you're wanting. And you need to start actually just following through with what you say you're going to do.
Yeah, amen. I think as well, when I look at like taking action and doing things or achieving any kind of goal, whether it's fitness, business, mindset, career, insert whatever thing here, you already know all of the things. We are living in 2025. You have access to, if not the most amount of information you can ever get access to. You have listened to the podcasts, you've listened to the audiobooks, you've gone to the masterclasses, you've downloaded the free resources. You have all of the information that you need. The missing gap between where you are now and where you want to go is the fact that you're not taking action, or you're not able to implement the knowledge that you are taught and the knowledge that you already know. And what I see a lot of people doing is like this weird dance between, they ask everyone for opinions on how do I get the body, how do I get the business, how do I get the career, how do I get this, instead of just listening to the audiobook and then actually implementing something. Now, something that I always say, and we both say this all the time, is like, knowledge is useless unless it's applied. So stop going around looking for the next best strategy, the shiny object, the thing that you can, change to change your life if you're not willing to look at where you're falling short with actually taking action.
And I think that a contributing factor to this is probably because there's so much noise on social media. And if you're a fitness girly in particular who wants to lose weight, body recomp, get into a really good routine, and you are finding that the sheer volume of noise, methods, and opinions is making it overwhelming for you to start, my tip would be to start limiting the amount of exposure to all of this noise. That could look like muting people, following less people. It could look like trying not to be so reactive with someone posts this so then you change what you do. Just stick with what you know and try not to get distracted by lots of different things, because something that I have learned being in the fitness industry now, both of us for over 7 years, is, to be honest, there's a lot of ways to get great results. There is a lot of different methods. There's a lot of different training methodologies. It's not necessarily that this way is right, this way is wrong. But the problem is, if you're constantly changing, you're not actually giving yourself enough of an opportunity to start seeing the results of the consistency that comes with that. So try to limit the distractions, try to limit the noise, just focus on sticking with one methodology for long enough. And when I say long enough, I mean a minimum of 12 weeks, and just do those things that you know are going to work. And that is what is going to really help you finally see the results you're wanting.
I think the biggest thing as well is like, there is no way to fast track any result that you want. I'm going to say it again. There is no way to fast track any result that you want. If you want to lose weight, if you want to build muscle mass, if you want to grow a business, if you want to get a promotion, what do you need to do? You need to go through the trenches. There is no magic pill, quick fix that overnight is going to help you lose 10 kilos or overnight is going to make you a millionaire. You are going to have to show up day in, day out. It's going to feel like a slog. It's going to feel hard. It's going to test your patience, your levels of consistency, your levels of resilience. But if you're that person who's constantly looking around going, oh, well, I'll just go from keto to carnivore, from carnivore to this. It's like, you are never going to get where you want to be if you are constantly jumping, left, right, all around. You need to find something that works, one, for you, that is easily achievable for you, something that you can consistently stick to, and then give yourself time. practice a little bit of fucking patience. I know we're all allergic to the word patience. I have it even tattooed on my arm because I'm the most impatient motherfucker known to man. But the reality is that is what it is. Like, if you want to get a promotion, do you think that you're going to walk in on day one and demand a $35,000 increase in your pay rise? No. You're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to do the work, do the reps, show up, get good results for your team and the company before you are able to get that promotion. Same rules apply in your health and fitness and in your business journey.
And I want to play devil's advocate and actually lean into the mindset of the person who is struggling with implementing, because I was her.
Same.
I paid for, just throwing myself under the bus, I remember feeling so unhappy with where I was at with my physique. I was overweight. I was unfit. The thought of actually becoming a gym girly seemed so out of reach, and I had poor self-esteem, right? So what was I looking for? I was buying Herbalife. I was thinking of, I'll just have, shakes, and then that's going to help me lose weight quick, right? And in terms of, I knew that if I wanted to maintain results and, become confident in the gym, I'm going to need to be a bit uncomfortable to get there. I'm going to need to join a gym. I'm going to need to be consistent. I knew all of that. That's the implementation side. But I was just wanting the results yesterday. And I also felt a bit of shame around that because that felt really uncomfortable. So I get it, right? But what I'm trying to say is I promise you, if you have a little bit more long-term vision and you apply what we all know works, and let's just say consistently weight training, fueling your body, eating a high protein diet, sticking to the plan. We know universally that is going to get you a result, right? Compared to stopping and starting. So please embrace that. Avoid the instant gratification, especially if you're coming from that background of always going full steam ahead, super restrictive, and then after 2 weeks you drop off. If that's your cycle and you want to break through with it, look at this.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think as humans, naturally we gravitate towards the things that feel easier. So when you get on social media and you see someone saying, follow my 8-day booty workout to build a BBL in 2 seconds, it's easier to go, I'm going to follow that program for 2 days because she's promising that result, than look at the coach that's going, sustainably, you're going to have to do this for 12 months. Because 12 months scares the fucking shit out of you. What? I'm going to have to show up every day for 12 months. I'm going to have to stay true to my word every day for 12 months. There's no way. But the reality is that is the only way. And until you realize that these quick fixes, the diet pills, the skinny me fucking what is it? Laxative tea where you're literally shitting your pants is not going to help you get anywhere long term. You are constantly going to find yourself in this spiral of you maybe lose the weight, you maybe love your body for a couple of months, then you gain it back again. Or you maybe grow your business and you get a real good result, then you lose all that money and have a low cash month. And then you can't get back to where you were again because it's this chop change, magic pill, shiny object. And you guys would all know the shiny object syndrome, right? Where like we are always kind of like a fish in a bowl, right? They're just running around the same thing, going back and forth in this same cycle that is not getting them anywhere different. It's the same with us, right? So being really mindful that if you're someone who has any kind of goal, it's actually not the fact that you need more information because, like I said, we're living in the 21st century. We have access to everything. It's probably the fact that you have shitty patterns, shitty behaviors, shitty lifestyle habits. You're really inconsistent. You're full of excuses. And that's the thing that you need to start looking at first.
And I also want to say that be protective of yourself and mindful of marketing tactics. Like you've just touched on, but I think that it's so easy to get caught up and distracted. And some people are really good at marketing themselves and short attention spans these days, right? And it doesn't seem as appealing from a sexy marketing point of view that you do need to grind, show up, do the hard things like Kate has said. But I really want you to just be aware that we're constantly, it's not going to go away. There's always going to be someone who's saying, what about this diet? What about this training method? I want you to start looking at this as a distraction because there's always going to be a new thing and there's going to be people who are really good at marketing themselves. But if it's the turtle and the hare analogy of the person, the turtle is faster, yeah? Yes.
Yes. Well, the hair is faster, like slow and steady wins the race. Yeah.
Exactly. So with all of these marketing things, if we do that whole running and sprinting for this result, or we get excited and we jump on the bandwagon because it's exciting and then we jump off, it's not going to get you that far over a 12-month window. And if we clock that, we can start respecting and appreciating the other way of doing things, the way that's not as sexy, the way that just means applying what you currently know, backing yourself, not making excuses for yourself, and just showing up. And I also would argue that that route, which doesn't sound as sexy, is so much more rewarding, because if you can go to bed at night knowing to yourself that you showed up when it was hard, you did the thing that didn't show you the result straight away, but you trusted yourself and knew that it was going to pay off, you're going to have a higher level of self-respect, and that is going to feel really good. So I would argue that that less sexy method is obviously the better option in the long term.
It's the only option. Like, it is the only option. And like, argue with me. We'll fight about it, because it is, right? Like, somebody who does, and this is also something else as well, like critical thinking. Yeah. So if you see something online that seems too good to be true, grow the booty, lose the waist, skinny me, whatever the thing is, right? If you look at that and you go, whoa, like this person's got insane results in such a short period of time and it feels too good to be true, it probably is. Also as well, and I just want to add this tiny little caveat here, it's like if somebody else online has had a lived experience with a particular diet, that does not mean that you are going to have the same lived experience that this person has. And it's really, really important that you guys learn how to discern from somebody else's lived experience versus what you want and how you are going to then maintain that. Because a lot of people will fall victim to either the carnivore diet, the keto diet, insert whatever thing, not as a way to improve their health, but as a weight loss tactic, and then complain or fall victim to feeling really lethargic, not having any energy, not being able to stick to it, not being able to be consistent, and then blame all of these things, where it's actually like you're not doing it for the health benefits of whatever research backs that. You're actually just doing it to try and lose weight loss, and you're missing the complete point. So being really mindful that you are being a critical thinker, putting your little critical thinking hat on, discerning what is actually going to work for you and learning your own patterns, habits, and behaviors. If you're that person who's always inconsistent, okay, work on your levels of consistency first before you go and jump into a extreme diet. If you're the person who really struggles with insert whatever thing, look at that first before you go and add more work onto your plate. Yeah?
Yep. And we're going to wrap it up here, but to summarize, I'm going to speak to the fitness girlies and I'm going to say, you don't need more information. You don't need another program. You don't need a new class or a new diet. You just need to stick with what you know, follow the fundamentals that we know that work, embrace the unsexy side of things. And if you do that for the next 12 weeks, come back to us and tell us how you feel, because I am confident that you will be in a far better position in 12 weeks' time if you just started taking action right now and stop procrastinating. And that's all I want you to take away from this episode. And on that note, thank you for being here. You guys know what to do. Leave a comment if you loved this episode, rate us 5 stars, and we'll see you so soon.
Bye.
Bye.